This is a video review of Tobot Adventure Y, and this is currently the last of the Tobot Y line. We started with Tobot Y, then we went to Evolution Y, now we're at Adventure Y, and unless there's another Tobot Y figure in the future, depending on what Young Toys does with Tobots, this is currently the last of the Tobot Y figures. I'm not trying to insinuate there won't be more, it's just there aren't any more at the moment. Now this figure is one of the most interesting figures in all of the Tobot line, and that is because of two big reasons. There's some smaller reasons that I want to get into later, they're actually kind of cool, but the two big reasons are, one, he's not a car, which I suppose there was nothing keeping Tobots making car figures, but I didn't expect them to go to anything except cars. I'm interested to see what they're going to do now, maybe some boats, maybe some airplanes. I'm curious what Young Toys is going to do in the future. The second thing that makes this guy interesting is that Young Toys ripped off Cybertron Evac's design from Transformers Cybertron. The Japanese name of the figure was from Galaxy Force Live Convoy. So yeah, this guy is an almost exact ripoff. He doesn't use the same parts or the same molding, and he actually is a little bit different in some places, but it is eerily creepy to the original Live Convoy figure. And I don't have any moral outrage about plagiarism. I've never had any moral outrage, but I will say it's not... I don't like not getting something fresh. One of the big reasons why I liked Tobots was I was always getting fresh stuff from them. Like stuff that, if I had seen it before, I hadn't quite seen it the way that Tobots had done it. This is the first time where I'm like, yeah, get on with it. I've seen this before. So I'd say it's not a good toy, it's just the plagiarism is kind of a big deal. Now, onto the figure itself. The helicopter mode is massive. This is one of probably the biggest helicopter toy I've ever got. Certainly the biggest transforming helicopter toy I've ever had. And that's not counting any of the drones you can buy on Amazon. I'm very unenthused with this hobby, or any just plain old helicopter toys. But as far as transforming helicopter toys, this is easily the biggest. One thing I really like about this is that the rotors just spin really well. And the way that you, there's a button gimmick here where if you press this in, it will start spinning. And it works really well. It's one of the best button press gimmicks for a spinning rotor I've ever seen. Excuse me. And part of the reason why it's so good is that it's not a one-to-one thing. You don't press a button and it starts spinning immediately. No, you're kind of winding up a coil or a spring when you do this, so you don't have to get your fingers out of the way as soon as you're done pressing it, so you can just pull your hand away and they'll start going immediately, and that's really nice. One of the other things that's cool about the blades is that they are almost shaped like an airfoil. Like if they were just rounded at the edge, they'd be shaped like an airfoil here. Whereas most of the time when you get a helicopter figure like this, any kind of vehicle mode that has propellers on it, well, what usually end up happening is that the blades are just slats that are tilted, and that's it. So you can still blow on them and they'll turn, but you don't get anything that... Like this thing actually produces a little amount of lift. If I spin it really fast, I can feel it pressing down on my hand and sucking from the top, and I just think that's kind of neat. And otherwise, that's about it for this mode. V-spin, and that's it. So start the transformation. This guy is a bit of a parts former. It's one of the other things I don't like about him, but you pop this off here, and if you're familiar with a Cybertron Evac, this should also be very familiar to you, popping this off. And then now the rest of the transformation is actually very intuitive. You pop this down like this, pop it out, rotate it around, pop it in half, rotate the legs forward, fold the feet forward, then you'll come up here, rotate the arms back, and they'll clip into place. You'll rotate these around, and it is exactly the same transformation as Cybertron Evac, except that the torso area down here is slightly different. Then you'll, the way I like to do the transformation is I just leave this down, and I fold it down like this, because it, these things end up making quite a bit of kibble if you transfer them normally, and they get in the way of the arms a lot, and it's not too bad of a backpack. But the way the instructions want you to do is you will split this in half. It's actually kind of hard to get a handle on it, like this, exactly like Cybertron Evac. And then what you'll do is you'll take the landing gear here, the skids, and then you'll plug them into the back like this, and this is what will really hold them out like that. Hold them out like this so they don't just wobble. And anyway, this is the robot mode. You can take the the blades here, and again, like Cybertron Evac, the blades go on the arm like this, and this is basically his robot mode. And I do actually quite like his robot mode. All plagiarism aside, this is a really nice robot mode. It does look distinct from Evac. The navy blue, the powder blue here, the white, the red, they all contrast very well. It's a very well put together color scheme. I do quite like the way he looks quite a bit. It's just a shame about the plagiarism, because I was hoping for something that was really original. But anyway, one thing I don't like about this is this stuff right here just really gets in the way of the arms, because you can't really move the arms back when you have this stuff here without pressing on it. It will get in the way of the blade. Well, it actually, this is one of the things that's good about this guy compared to Cybertron Evac, which is Evac, the blades got in the way of everything all the time, forever. On this guy, it's barely engineered so that you can move these most any way you want without them really bumping into anything. They will a little bit, but not too much, and if you want, you can remove them. So it's not as awful as it could be, and I do think it is better than how Cybertron Evac did it, and if I had that guy still, I would be showing him in this review, but I don't. So if you really want to see all the similarities, go watch a video review of Cybertron Evac. I think I might actually have a video review of, it was a figure of Springer that used the same mold. It was the Cybertron Evac mold in green, gray, and yellow to be Springer. I might have a review of that. I don't know. But anyway, just if you don't know the figure I'm talking about, just trust me. This figure is an almost exact copy. So anyway. One thing I wish they had done with this is I wish that, since they were okay with this plugging onto the backpack here anyway, I wish that this could plug on back here. If they had done that, this would be a definite improvement over the original. As it stands, it is still kind of an improvement over the original, because you can do this to help keep stuff out of the way, so that if you're just willing to keep this off to the side, and you really don't need this for the helicopter mode anyway, then you can just have them like this, and nothing gets in the way of anything. And this is okay. I like that you're able to do this with the original Cybertron Evac mold. You couldn't really do this because you had to split it to lift the head up. But anyway, enough about Cybertron Evac. I don't have him here. I shouldn't be going on about him. Just trust me. So anyway, for posability here, I'm going to take this stuff off so it won't really get in the way. The arms are rotating around 360 on a really nice ratchet. They go in and out on a really nice ratchet. They'll rotate around 180 on not the best ratchet I've ever felt, but it's not bad. The arms will go forward and back on a really nice ratchet, although they won't go much more than that, which is a bit of a shame. And the hands can rotate in like that. Sadly, you do not get any head articulation, and I don't know why you don't get any. There's plenty of room for any amount of head articulation in there. You do get a nice waist swivel, although it ratchets straight like this or like this, so you won't get any detents around here, so it's just the detents are only straight. The legs will go forward and back, in and out, only a little bit, while a nice ratchet. They bend on really nice ratchets, and then you can move the feet like this. If there were one thing that I really wish he had from the original, I wish is that he had a heel spur that could flip out. Because as it stands, his feet aren't that great at balancing, but if he had a heel spur that could come down, he would be good at balancing. So basically it comes down to which figure do I recommend more, this guy or Cybertron Evac. I'm actually not that big of a fan of the Cybertron Evac mold, because it just has a lot of kibble. This guy, you can play with him without kibble, but he doesn't do everything he should to be better than Evac. So they're kind of even, just as far as being quality toys, and part of the reason for that is because this guy flops around a lot. And that's actually a trend I've noticed with a lot of Young Toys, more recent toys. And that's a shame, because Young Toys figures used to not do that. Like this guy, he doesn't do that. So really it just comes down to price. If you find this guy for cheaper than Cybertron Evac, get this guy. If you find Cybertron Evac for cheaper, get him. But that's assuming you even want the mold in the first place. So I know I'm kind of wishy-washy with this video review, and I'm talking about stuff that if you don't know the figure doesn't mean anything to you. And I realize this has probably not been the most enjoyable video review, but I also think that a lot of you guys are Transformers fans, so I think you'll know what I'm talking about. So if this video review ended up sucking, I apologize, but there's no way to talk about this guy without talking about Cybertron Evac. But anyway, yeah, I review Power Rangers, Digimon, Transformers, Tobots, lots of stuff like that. If any of that sounds interesting, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.